You're tuning to KZSC Santa Cruz. This is Riz, aka RSD, and we got a special guest in the building, all the way from the 707. We got KEZIA, KEZIA. How are you doing today? My bad. You feeling good today?
Yeah, I'm feeling great tonight.
Right on, right on. I'm good so far. So, how was the drive down here from the 707?
It was good. It was just a lot of windy roads. It was just a lot of traffic. Funny story. Tommy almost killed us, but I mean that's okay. It's all right.
So, KEZIA, where do you reside exactly, and how old are you?
Well, I'm 18. I'm from the North Bay Area, American Canyon specifically. It's just north of Vallejo, but right now I'm actually in school at Cal Poly Pomona in Pomona, which is like in Southern California, and so I spend a lot of time coming back and forth and spend a lot of time in both places. So.
And how did you come with your name? Is that your original name, like your stage name, KEZIA? Is that your original name?
Yes, that is my birth name. My full name is KEZIA Claire Warioba, so I just took my first name just because I fuck with it. So.
At what point did you realize you were going to start making music? Did someone inspire you? Did you grow up listening to someone say, I want to be like that person, and that's why I wanted to start making music?
I mean, ever since I was just a little girl, like I was always the one to just sing in the bathroom with my hairbrush in the mirror, just like singing really, really loud. And I actually grew up listening to a lot of alternative rock music, a lot of alternative 90s, 2000s music. And my dad, being from Tanzania, we'd play a lot of African music in the house. So it was a lot of those two influences growing up. And I've always just had a love of music just from listening to the music that my parents played around me. And, you know, when I was 10 years old, I started doing theater and I started doing guitar lessons. And I just figured, like, this is what I'm good at. I just love doing this. So, you know, I only got, 80, 70 more years left. So might as well just do what I want while I'm young and just live my life, so.
Did any specific artists influence your work? I know there's a lot of artists today from the Bay Area, like you got the Kailanis, you got the HERs. Do you feel like?
I mean, actually, honestly, truly, the first person who really inspired me to start making music was actually Hayley Williams from Paramore.
Wow.
Because when I was young and when I was in middle school, like 5th, 6th grade, 7th grade, like I was just slapping Riot. I was slapping the All We Know Is Falling album, and she was my first big vocal inspiration, because I still think she's one of the best singers. I'm still inspired by a lot of other singers today, but she was my very first influence, I would say.
And what genre do you feel like you fit under your music? I know you have only 3 or 4 songs yet, but I heard that you got a lot more songs coming.
Yeah.
What genre do you feel like you fit under as of right now?
I mean, I would just say R&B, just because there's a lot of hip hop influences. There's a lot of pop influences. You know, I like to sing a lot of R&B melodies as well as some rock melodies as well. So I mean, just a blend of that. It's just R&B-y to me.
And with your whole crew with you right now, how did you get into No Platform? You know, I know one of your fellow No Platform artists and friends, your close friend Jamie, posted something on Instagram the other day as there is no platform, so we created our own No Platform.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
I mean, well, it was actually, I've only been recording for about a year. And, you know, last year for me was a lot was about learning about who I am as an artist and developing myself as an artist and learning how to just really record really, really well. And it was funny because I had met Jamie and Thomas Jordan actually on the set of the Edibles video that was being shot. And that was back. We shot that back in December 2016. And it was after that day of that shoot, me and Tommy were just chopping it up in the car, and they were like, yeah, we're going to go back to the stew or whatever. We're going to go back to the stew. And we just went in there. We labbed for a little bit, and we just became friends. And that's where that went from there. And then I dropped Rubies, and then Sanny had actually hit me up on Twitter, and he was talking about making a video for it, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And then, you know, me and Sanny became friends, and then we all kind of just joined forces, and we've been pretty much inseparable since. And so that's just the story of how we kind of all came to be.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing story. And we're going to also bring in one of KEZIA's producers, Thomas Jordan.
You feel me?
Thomas Jordan in the building, who also produces stuff for No Platform and also been featured a couple of times on KZSC on blogs and other music videos, and also songs he's produced for other artists.
Absolutely
in the
beautiful.
My ex Stacy.
my ex Stacy.
My ex Stacy.
So Thomas Jordan, how do you collab with KEZIA on like what beat she's feeling? And you can also speak on this too, KEZIA. Like, how do you know what to tell Thomas Jordan of like, okay, this is what beat I want, or does he just throw stuff at you and then you're just like, wow, this is something I want to write to or something?
Honestly,
No, how it usually goes, I just be labbing on something, and then
Yeah.
whenever Jamie or KEZIA pulls up, I'll just have something ready for them to listen to. And if it happens to be fire, it's just like, ooh.
yeah.
And then, you know.
Yeah, it's really just, we just play it by ear. I mean, it's just like certain songs we make, and it's just like he plays the beat, and then it's just instant inspiration. You know, you just write the song right then and there. And other times, you know, I'll come in with the chord progression because I play guitar too. And we'll just build from there. It really, like, going into making a song is really never like the same way for every single song. It's always different, you know, and so.
Mm-hmm. And what's the process of you writing? Because I know this one time when I saw another producer you were working with, they were just like making beats in my house. This one time you just started writing and started singing. Is that how you just create your song?
Really what it is just listening, you know, and listening for pockets, listening for melodies, listening for you know, different whatever the song needs. Usually the best beats are open enough for an artist to be able to jump on. I mean, like, sometimes I'll get beats and they're like completely full and I just don't know what to do with them, and I just, you know, that won't be a song for me. And so I'll usually it's really just about singing. I'll usually actually pull up the voice memos on my phone and just start recording like as soon as I walk into a studio session, because I'm very forgetful, so like I might sing something and then I'll forget it like 5 seconds later and I'll have to go back and listen to it. So that's usually my process.
And then what about the process of filming some of your music videos? I know it's not just the artist's idea, but you know, you collaborate with you know, the executive producer, the producer, the videographer that day, the person who's filming it, especially the 3 seconds music video. What message are you trying to give away? I know the 3 seconds video, that seemed like, you know, a day at the beach and have fun with your friends and pull out the camcorder and start recording. Where do you get your ideas for your music videos?
Well, usually what I'll do is it's usually like a longer process to do the video than it is to make the song, of course, just because creating the perfect visual is a lot goes into it. And we actually just got done filming a music video for a song that I'm going to be putting out very soon called November, and I wrote that song back in August. And I collaborated with Sandy, of course, and Brandon Lee Davis, who is a very, very amazing director. He's great to work with. And actually also his friend Diane as well. And she helped co-direct it. And so it's really just about looking at the song, figuring what the message is, what we want to, you know, bring across visually, and then just executing it. And so, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And can you give us, like, I know you can't give us a quick snippet right now, but can you tell us what the fans should be expecting with your song November? Is it different than 3 seconds, Rubies, and Let Me Down?
It's definitely a completely different direction than those songs. It's definitely a lot more, I mean, the topic is a little more serious, but just as far as production and how far, you know, me and Tommy have come, like, working together just as an artist and as a producer, I mean, there's definitely a lot of growth in that. And so just expect a great song coming your way.
Right on. Expect some new fire from KEZIA, Thomas Jordan, the whole No Platform crew. So KEZIA, you were recently interviewed by Sonoma State's college radio station. Can you talk about... Oh, you weren't? I'm sorry.
That was Jamie.
That was Jamie. But were you there?
I was not there. I was
You weren't
in LA.
there. Okay.
Yeah, I actually really wanted to go to that interview to support, one of my BFFs, Jeremy, but I was unfortunately at school
Got
learning.
it. So this is your first basically radio interview.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I'm telling everyone right now, everyone better hop on KEZIA because she's gonna blow up.
Thank you.
And KEZIA, can you specifically describe a moment that helped you become who you are today? I ask this to every artist. It could be, the smallest to the biggest thing. And, you got to think a lot about like your whole life. But can you talk about a moment that helped you become who you are today? If it's like personally, do you want to like love yourself more? Is it musically? Did like it revive you or something?
I honestly think that back in August, when I first made the song November and we first finished it, like it felt really, really good for me, just because that was probably like the first song that I felt like, wow, like this is like a real direction that I want to go in. This is a real like lane that I could, make for myself and forge for myself. And the making of that song just was really like fulfilling for me, just because it bloomed from a very traumatic experience for me. And so making that song was a real healing process for me. And that was the first time that a song like fully like healed like my problems that I was having within myself. Because I mean, like I wrote Rubies and Let Me Down and 3 Seconds just from a place of fun, just from a place of, just like of the love of music, and just wanting to record and just wanting to learn about myself more as an artist. And that was kind of like the first song that I wrote that like really was like for me and was really just to heal myself.
Wow. I'm speechless right now because it's a lot. I know it's a lot to take in, and I appreciate you sharing that on the radio with everybody. And I believed you performed at some more art shows, some house shows, an all-female lineup that you did back in June. No Platform Karaoke. I know you opened up for Lil Pete, and I'm not sure if you have performed at music festivals yet, but hopefully you will one day. But can you talk about each of those experiences? So like more art. Can you talk about
that was
performing at more art?
I remember in 2017 the first More Art. That was damn near my first show that I had ever performed at, like as an artist. And I'm not gonna lie, like 2017 I did a whole bunch of art parties. I did a whole bunch of art shows, and I remember my first one. I'm not gonna lie, it was very nerve-wracking because, I was 17 when I did my first show, and I was in a room full of not 17-year-olds, and it was very nerve-wracking just because, everybody was older than me. Everybody was at a different caliber of artistry than me, and I was really just a baby. And in a lot of ways, I'm still just the baby of the group, and I'm still the baby of a lot of my peers around me. And so, I mean, that helps me work harder. But just performing in general has always like helped me grow as an artist. And I mean, it's always really scary going up, like those first 5 seconds before you sing your first note. But then once you get that over with, it's just like, it's fun, and a lot of the shows, they were learning experiences. And, you have good shows and you learn from the good shows, and you have, shows that sometimes, there's like some sound difficulties, and you learn from those shows a lot. And, most importantly from every show, like taking away a lesson is the most important thing for me. I'll say. And
I know performing at some shows and also at that all-female lineup you did back in June, and you opened up for Lil Pete, which was
interesting actually, because that like just looking at who really listens to my music, which is mainly females, going into that, opening up for Lil Peep on January 1st of 2018, that was definitely not an easy show for me, just because I mean we still went up there and we did our best and we killed that shit, but it was definitely like a mostly male audience, and so seeing that you're gonna have to like alter some things that you had practiced in the rehearsal stage for when you get on stage and stuff like that. And it's just all about being able to improvise and being able to think on your feet, because it was a very fun show, but it was very interesting as well. But I had a lot of fun. Opening up for Lil Pete actually at the New Parish, because that was a stage that we had not performed on before. Like, that was a type of stage that we hadn't performed on, because we had gone from performing mainly at like art parties, very, very small venues, and going into the New Parish, that was
the New Parish in Oakland.
Yeah, the New Parish in Oakland. That was where we opened for Lil Pete, and it was exciting. I really enjoyed it. So.
And at all these events and shows, there's some artists out there, that are like that are in the background, or like artists that attend the shows just to like attend the show regularly. What's the biggest advice an artist has given to you, or like a small conversation like, wow, you killed it out there, or you're gonna be big someday, or something like that? Because you're pretty, I think you're pretty around that a lot.
Can we actually come back to that question?
We'll come back to that question.
Let me think about that, actually.
All right, definitely. And with the 3 songs you have out right now, what's the favorite song you've made so far? And do you feel like you're going to have like a favorite song you make later?
I definitely think that my favorite song to make my favorite song that I have out right now is definitely 3 Seconds, just because that's just like of a higher quality than the other songs. I mean, you could hear a lot of growth just from hearing Ruby's To Let Me Down just to 3 Seconds. But I think definitely the most fun song to make was probably Ruby's, just because that was when me and Jamie and Tommy had first met each other, and that was when our friendship was new and fresh, and everything was just so like, pure in our friendship. And that was actually the same time that Jamie had made his song Moon. And so, I mean, those 2 songs for me are just really nostalgic, and they mark the beginning of, what I hope to be a very long friendship with, my friends.
And we're gonna bring back Thomas Jordan back in. Thomas Jordan, how were making those songs with KEZIA at that time, from your perspective now?
Wait, which time? Wait, what should we?
From Ruby's.
Oh, from like just like the entire like process of me meeting her.
Yeah, and also like the process of the beats you produced for her.
Oh man, well, man, it was crazy. Like the song she's gonna drop like soon, the November song. It was crazy because like I had made that after I seen the solar eclipse, and it was just like the weirdest beat like ever. And then like I showed it to her, and then she just clicked, and it just worked. And it's just like, I feel like once it's out and once you listen to it, it's gonna be like stuck in your head, bruh. Like the catchiness level, bruh. It's like 9,000 and above, bruh. Like, you feel me, bruh? But yeah, no, it's always magic, when I'm working with Jamie or KEZIA, because like they're such like they really know how to use their voice, Like they said they got that radio voice, and then I just got them radio beats.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that going back to the question that you asked before, I think of the new songs that are coming out, I definitely think that November is my favorite. I would say Solace is my second favorite, which is also coming out as well. That will be dropping probably before November.
It's called Solstice? Solace.
Yeah, Solace.
Why Solace?
Well, it's actually kind of a play on words, because the way that we're going to spell it in the song title is SOULACE, which is a combination of the word soulless, like lacking a soul, and the word solace, which is kind of like comfort after feeling hurt, or comfort after feeling, some type of pain. And so the whole song is kind of a combination of those 2 words, and it's a play off of those 2 concepts. And so I'm very excited for that song as well.
I need to start Googling my words. All right. Other than that, which Bay Area artists do you wish to work with? I know I mentioned, Kehlani, who's like really, really up there, and also HER, who's also coming out from the 707, Vallejo specifically. Are there
She's
any
really good.
any other artists you wish to work with? If it be like, Cal Uchis or Daniel Caesar one day, or
Doesn't have to be in the Bay.
doesn't have to be in the Bay, but one Bay Area.
I would say one Bay Area artist that I would definitely really want to work with is 108K because I really like his voice. Is very, very beautiful. I honestly think he's probably one of my favorite male singers from the Bay Area. And then an artist outside of the Bay Area, I would definitely say Thundercat. Thundercat is
wow.
hard. His musicianship and his, ability to pick certain melody pockets are really, really amazing to me, and I think that that's great. Oh, and also, in my opinion, Eileen Soji goes really crazy as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she picks really interesting melodies as well, and so.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Are there any improvements you can make going forward from where you are right now?
I definitely think that, I have so much room to grow as an artist, I have a lot of things that, of course, I want to accomplish, and so for me, it's just about productivity, because I already feel myself developing as an artist and, trying new things. I always want to try new things. I always want to try to hop on, different types of beats that you wouldn't expect me to hop on, beats that you wouldn't expect me to sing on. And, just when I talk about productivity, I just mean the process of getting a song out, because the process of getting a song out can definitely be very, very long, and it can definitely be very tedious, but in the end, it's all worth it, because, in my opinion, rollout is extremely important to the success and to the birth of a song and to the release of a song. And so, for me, just those two things are really important.
We're gonna go back to the question earlier that we put to the side real quick. What's some advice some artists have given you so far? If it doesn't have to be an artist, it could be even a manager, a producer, a promoter, a close friend.
Yeah, I don't really remember who really said this to me, but I think just the best type of advice that I've gotten so far is definitely criticisms. It's not encouragements oh yeah, you're a great artist, you're a great writer, whatever, because hearing that, that's cool. To me, that just kind of makes me feel like my head's getting bigger, and I don't really like that. I really appreciate when people tell me, criticisms I need to work on this or I need to work on that. Maybe I should have picked a different melody pocket. Maybe I should have, sung this differently or delivered this differently. One piece of advice that I really, really appreciated was it's usually not the writing itself, it's usually how you deliver the song, when you're going into it. Because I think that you can rewrite a verse a million times over, but if the delivery was never good from the beginning, then what's the point of even rewriting that verse in the first place? You know what I mean? And a lot of the times it is about the delivery, and so I think that I appreciate criticisms the most. More than encouragements, I would say, just overall from everybody.
What's the biggest thing your close peers have told you, such as Sandy, Thomas Jordan, or Jamie?
It's really delivery. It's really delivery. And I remember in the beginning of 2017, because I had been singing all my life prior to 17 when I first started really putting out music, but it really wasn't until people, I heard in the beginning of 2017 people would tell me, you need to work on your lyrics more and stuff like that, and switching things up and working on more wordplay. And so that has always helped me. And then again, delivery, especially, and how you say your words and how you sing your words, because you can pick a melody, right? And you can pick just a certain phrase or whatever, and there are a million different ways that you could deliver that phrase, and that could change the entire feeling and the entire mood of a song. And to me, that's really, really important. And
what are your expectations for this year? What did you have any saying, you told yourself, what are my New Year's resolutions for yourself and or for music?
I don't really have. Honestly, I don't like going into things with expectations, because expectations, you know, you always set them so high and they always, you know, fall through. And so really my goal just for 2018 is just to try to put out the best music as I can possible, try to put out, you know, really good visuals, and just try to, you know, build my discography, really. And just hope that, you know, there are people who listen to it, in my opinion.
Okay. And then your just last two questions before we finish up here. What advice can you give to other artists who want to pursue music?
I would just say don't give up, because the moment that you give up is the moment that you're never gonna go back. Because really, once you leave music, I mean, the music always stays with you, you know what I mean? But it really is harder to go back. And so I would just say keep doing it, and keep doing what you love, and always trust your creative intuition, because what you feel like is right the first time is probably what you should be doing.
And then where can people find you on social media?
You guys can find me. All of my social medias are lowercase, just all lowercase, K333ZIA on Twitter, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
Why the 3 3s?
You know, master numbers, spirituality, all that. And so that's what I would say about that. I really like the number 3. It's a very special number, very special angel number. So that's what I would say about that.
Okay. All right, everyone, make sure to turn on your notifications. Follow KEZIA on all social media, as well as Thomas Jordan and Jamie, and also Sandy B in the building, the whole No Platform crew doing their thing. Thank you guys so much for traveling out here. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so
And
much. No, thank you so much. Really appreciate you having us out here.
It's all good.
It was a pleasure.
And this is KZSC Santa Cruz. Anything y'all want to say before we go?
Man, DJ Rizzy, you so beautiful, bro. You're so beautiful, bro.
I have to second that.
So, well, shout out the whole No Platform crew, and appreciate y'all for sliding. And make sure to, like I said, turn on your notifications for KEZIA. New heat will be coming soon. And just keep it locked here on KZSC Santa Cruz.